They're not coming back the way you imagine. And the longer you hold on, the more you lose yourself. Letting go isn't weakness, it's power. And once you understand these steps, you stop chasing closure and start reclaiming control. If this message resonates with you right now, like this video and subscribe. Your breakthrough could begin with one decision to finally let go. Acceptance ends emotional resistance because pain intensifies when we argue with reality. The moment someone leaves, pulls away, or chooses a different path, the mind begins negotiating. You replay conversations. You search for hidden meanings. You imagine alternative outcomes. You convince yourself that if you say the right words or wait long enough, something will shift. But resistance is exhausting. It keeps you emotionally attached to a version of life that no longer exists. And the longer you resist what has happened, the longer you delay your own healing. Acceptance is not approval. It is not saying what happened was fair. It is not pretending you are unaffected. Acceptance is simply the courage to say, this is what is. When you stop fighting reality, you free up emotional energy that was trapped in denial. That energy can finally be redirected toward rebuilding yourself. Emotional resistance keeps you stuck in the past, but acceptance plants your feet firmly in the present, and healing only begins in the present. There is strength in facing the truth without softening it. When you accept that someone cannot meet you where you stand, you stop trying to shrink yourself to fit their limitations. You stop chasing potential. You stop waiting for clarity that may never come. Instead, you gain clarity from within. Acceptance brings peace because it removes uncertainty. The question shifts from why did this happen to what do I do now? That shift is powerful. It moves you from victimhood to responsibility. Acceptance also restores dignity. When you stop pleading with the past to change, you reclaim control over your future. You begin to understand that your worth is not determined by someone else's inability to stay. You realize that closure does not come from their explanation. It comes from your decision to move forward anyway. The first step to letting go is not forgetting. It is not detaching overnight. It is accepting fully and honestly that what was is no longer. And in that acceptance, resistance dissolves. When resistance dissolves, peace begins. And when peace begins, healing follows. Letting go is not just about releasing a person. It is about releasing the fantasy you built around them. Often, what keeps you emotionally attached is not who they truly were, but who you believed they could become. You replay the good moments, you amplify the chemistry, you hold on to the promises, but in doing so, you quietly ignore the inconsistency, the distance, the unmet needs. The fantasy becomes more powerful than reality, and as long as you cling to that imagined future, detachment feels impossible. The mind is skilled at rewriting history. It edits out the pain and highlights the potential. You start thinking about what could have been instead of what actually was. But healing demands honesty. It requires you to separate the person from the projection. Who were they consistently, not occasionally? How did they show up regularly, not during rare peak moments? When you answer those questions truthfully, the illusion begins to dissolve. And once the illusion fades, clarity takes its place. Detaching from the fantasy is powerful because it breaks the emotional spell. You stop chasing a version of love that existed mostly in your imagination. You stop waiting for someone to transform into the partner you hoped they would be. Instead, you anchor yourself in facts. You recognize patterns. You accept behaviors. And that acceptance brings freedom. The attachment weakens not because you force it to, but because you see clearly. There is courage in confronting the truth without romantic filters. It may hurt at first because the dream was beautiful, but holding on to a dream that ignores reality costs you your peace. When you release the fantasy, you stop negotiating with what never truly existed. You begin to value what is real over what is imagined. Detachment becomes easier when you understand this. You are not losing the person you hoped for. You are releasing the illusion that kept you stuck. And once the illusion fades, your heart begins to make space for something grounded, mutual, and real. When someone leaves or pulls away, it is easy to lose more than the relationship. You can lose parts of yourself. Your routines shift, your focus narrows, your confidence quietly erodes. You begin measuring your worth through their attention, their texts, their validation, and without realizing it, your identity becomes tied to how they saw you. That is why moving on requires more than emotional distance. It requires reclaiming who you were before you started shrinking to fit inside someone else's world. Reclaiming your identity begins with remembering what makes you, your passions, your friendships, your ambitions, your voice. Often in relationships, especially painful ones, you compromise pieces of yourself to maintain harmony. You adjust your opinions, you silence your needs, you overextend your effort. Over time, those small compromises add up, and you wake up feeling disconnected from your own center. Letting go is the opportunity to return to that center. It is the moment you decide that your value does not rise or fall based on someone else's ability to recognize it. Self-worth is not rebuilt by convincing someone to see your value. It is rebuilt by seeing it yourself. When you invest back into your growth, your health, your goals, and your standards, something powerful happens. Your posture changes, your energy shifts. You stop seeking approval and start embodying confidence. The pain that once felt like rejection begins to feel like redirection. You realize that losing someone who could not meet your standards is not a downgrade, it is alignment. This step is about expansion. Instead of asking, "Why wasn't I enough?" you begin asking, "What do I deserve?" That question transforms everything. It shifts your focus from lack to possibility, from loss to growth, from insecurity to strength. Reclaiming your identity is not about becoming someone new. It is about returning to who you were before doubt distorted your reflection. And when you stand fully in your worth again, moving on no longer feels like losing something valuable. It feels like choosing yourself. Where your focus goes, your energy flows. And after a breakup or emotional loss, your focus can become your greatest enemy. You replay memories, you reread old messages, you analyze tone, timing, and meaning. You imagine what they're doing, who they're with, whether they miss you. Every thought feels automatic, but each one reinforces the emotional attachment. Healing slows down not because you are weak, but because your attention keeps feeding the wound. You cannot always control your first thought, but you can control what you do with it. The mind will try to revisit what feels unresolved. That is natural, but growth begins when you gently redirect your focus. Instead of asking why they changed, ask what you can build. Instead of stalking their updates, invest in your upgrades. Attention is power. When you withdraw it from what hurt you and reinvest it into what strengthens you, your emotional state begins to shift. Focus is not just mental, it is behavioral. What you look at, who you talk to, what you consume online, the music you play, the conversations you entertain, all of it shapes your emotional recovery. If you surround yourself with reminders, you reopen wounds daily. But if you intentionally create an environment of forward movement, your mind begins to follow. Small shifts compound. One new habit, one new goal, one new routine. Over time, your identity starts expanding beyond the pain. Controlling your focus does not mean suppressing emotions. It means choosing not to live inside them. You allow the feeling, but you do not build a home there. You acknowledge the hurt, but you refuse to make it your future. This discipline is empowering. It reminds you that while you cannot control someone else's decisions, you can control your direction. Healing accelerates the moment your focus shifts from what you lost to what you are becoming. The story changes. You are no longer someone who was left. You are someone who is rising. And once your attention locks onto growth, momentum begins. Control your focus, and you quietly regain control of your life. You cannot heal from someone who still has direct access to your emotions. As long as they can text you when they feel lonely, check your stories when they feel curious, or step back into your life when it is convenient, the wound stays open. Emotional access keeps hope alive, and hope, when misplaced, delays closure. Cutting emotional access is not about bitterness. It is about protecting your peace long enough for strength to return. Every time you respond instantly, every time you explain yourself again, every time you allow half-hearted communication, you surrender a little more power. Not because you are weak, but because proximity keeps attachment active. Distance is not cruelty. Distance is clarity. When you remove access, you remove confusion. You stop living in the gray area of maybe. You step out of the cycle of temporary comfort followed by renewed disappointment. Cutting emotional access may mean limiting contact, unfollowing, muting, or creating firm boundaries around communication. It may feel extreme at first. Your mind will tell you that you are overreacting, but healing requires space. Space allows emotions to settle. Space allows your nervous system to calm. Space allows you to see the situation without constant emotional interference. Without access, their influence weakens. Without influence, your strength grows. This step is powerful because it shifts the dynamic. You stop being emotionally available to someone who is not fully available to you. You stop rewarding inconsistency. You stop participating in your own confusion. Power returns the moment you realize that access to you is a privilege, not a guarantee. When emotional access is cut, something unexpected happens. You begin to rediscover quiet. You begin to rediscover stability. You begin to feel less reactive and more grounded, and in that grounded state, clarity replaces longing. Regaining power is not about controlling them. It is about controlling proximity. It is about recognizing that healing requires boundaries, not bravery alone. The moment you protect your emotional space, you stop bleeding energy into the past. And that is when your future finally begins to open. Pain is unavoidable in the process of letting go, but how you respond to it determines your transformation. Most people try to numb pain, distract themselves, or replay it endlessly, thinking that avoidance will make it easier. The truth is that avoidance prolongs suffering. Pain only becomes unbearable when it is untreated or misdirected. The moment you choose to face it, understand it, and use it as fuel, it becomes one of the most powerful tools for growth. Transforming pain into growth begins with awareness. You must acknowledge the hurt honestly, without sugarcoating it, without minimizing it, and without blaming yourself unnecessarily. When you allow yourself to feel the full weight of your emotions, you unlock insight. You see patterns in your attachment, recognize what you tolerated that you shouldn't have, and uncover areas of your own strength that you never knew existed. Pain becomes a mirror, reflecting lessons and truths that were previously invisible. Next, you channel this awareness into action. Every emotional setback becomes an opportunity to rebuild stronger boundaries, refine your self-worth, and clarify your values. Perhaps it motivates you to reconnect with passions you abandoned, to invest more deeply in relationships that uplift you, or to focus on personal growth in ways you neglected while entangled in attachment. Pain loses its power the moment it is redirected toward creation rather than destruction. It becomes the driving force behind positive change. This transformation also reshapes your perspective. Instead of seeing loss as failure, you start seeing it as a stepping stone. Each moment of discomfort teaches resilience, self-reliance, and emotional intelligence. You no longer fear setbacks because you understand that discomfort is temporary and the lessons it brings are permanent. Pain stops being a weight and becomes a guide. Ultimately, transforming pain into growth fuel is the act of reclaiming your power. It is a conscious decision to turn hurt into learning, disappointment into motivation, and heartbreak into opportunity. When you harness your pain, it propels you forward instead of holding you back. The future becomes brighter not because the past disappeared, but because you turned every scar into a source of strength. Forgiveness is one of the most misunderstood steps in moving on. Many people believe forgiveness is about excusing bad behavior or forgetting the pain someone caused. It is not. Forgiveness is about reclaiming your own peace. When you hold on to anger, resentment, or the what-ifs, you carry an invisible weight. Every thought loops back to the hurt, every memory triggers tension, and every reaction reinforces the attachment. Forgiveness does not erase what happened. It liberates you from the emotional prison you built around it. The first part of this process is choosing to release control over the past. You cannot change what someone did, nor can you force them to understand your pain. Holding on to grudges only prolongs suffering and keeps your attention tied to someone who is no longer fully present in your life. When you forgive, you are not condoning their actions. You are refusing to let their behavior dictate your emotional state. You take back your power by deciding that your well-being matters more than the lingering resentment. Forgiveness also allows clarity to emerge. When anger and blame dominate your mind, you cannot see the situation objectively. You cannot recognize the lessons, the growth opportunities, or the areas where your strength increased. By letting go of resentment, your perspective shifts. You begin to see the situation for what it truly was, rather than what your emotions exaggerated it to be. This clarity is liberating. It creates space for reflection, self-improvement, and emotional resilience. Moreover, forgiveness is a commitment to your own future happiness. When you forgive, you are freeing yourself from repeating cycles of hurt and obsession. You stop replaying the pain, stop carrying it into new relationships, and stop letting it define your emotional landscape. The energy you once spent holding on to bitterness now becomes fuel for your personal growth, your self-worth, and your emotional freedom. Ultimately, forgiveness is an act of self-love. It is a conscious choice to release the chains of the past so that you can step fully into your future. It does not change what they did. It changes what you do next. And that change is where true liberation, healing, and power reside. Creating a vision bigger than your past is the final and most transformative step in moving on. Letting go of someone is not just about closing a chapter, it's about opening a new one with purpose, clarity, and ambition. When you focus solely on what you lost, on what could have been, or on the pain that lingers, your energy becomes trapped in the past. You rehearse memories instead of designing your future. A compelling vision shifts that energy forward. It gives your mind a target, your heart a direction, and your soul a reason to rise above what hurt you. The process begins by imagining the life you truly want. Not a life defined by someone else, but a life rooted in your own dreams, passions, and potential. Picture the relationships you deserve, the success you aspire to, the personal growth you crave. Envision not just survival, but thriving. When your vision is larger than the story of your heartbreak, the past starts to shrink in significance. It becomes a stepping stone instead of a weight. Each day, each choice, and each action aligns with that future rather than clinging to what is gone. Creating a bigger vision also transforms your mindset. When you focus on your growth and possibilities, your emotional energy shifts from obsession to empowerment. You begin prioritizing actions that elevate you rather than thoughts that pull you down. You seek opportunities, experiences, and connections that reflect the value you now recognize in yourself. You stop looking backward because the future you are building is more compelling than any memory you carry. A powerful vision requires consistency and intentionality. It is not enough to imagine, you must act. Every habit, decision, and boundary reinforces your trajectory. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a declaration that your life is yours to shape. By committing to a vision bigger than your past, you create momentum that makes the idea of returning to old attachments less and less appealing. Ultimately, this step is about claiming your life. It is about understanding that your past does not define you, that your worth is not tied to someone else's choices, and that your future is a blank canvas. When your vision expands beyond the pain, you no longer just move on, you rise. You become unstoppable, magnetic, and fully alive.